Jared from the USA says, "Hi, I plan to visit New Zealand and I am confused about payments for things. Does a US debit card work in most places? I've read that you can only get cash with a debit card there. Is that true?"
So you can use a US debit card in New Zealand as long as it is like PIN encoded, one of those
Yeah,
debit cards, not just a swipe and walk away
yeah.
type thing. As long as it is usually the most widely accepted versions of debit cards, as long as they're Visa, Mastercard, I think American Express, that
Yeah,
sort of thing.
it's not everywhere, right?
Yeah,
So if you have a debit American Express, I don't even know that exists. But if you have that, that's probably going to be more of a problem. But Visa and Mastercard should be all
and
right.
they're the main two ones that
Yeah.
are pretty much accepted everywhere. Indeed, you can withdraw cash from an ATM
Hmm.
with a debit card if it met all the requirements we just talked about. But on top of that, you can also pay at different vendors. You can pay at the supermarket, you can pay at restaurants. Basically, pretty much anywhere that accepts card payments. There may be the odd occasion where you come across places that don't accept card payments, but it's becoming pretty much everywhere in New Zealand now.
That said, the one thing you need to keep in mind is the fact that the rate is probably going to be horrendous, right? Credit card rates are often, well, that's how they make money, right? So you're not getting the best deal. So you may want to consider the options of withdrawing cash and then using cash when you actually are doing your payments, because you may save off on all those one-off fees. You may also consider the option of getting things like I'm gonna say some names. You know they're all the same, and none of them are sponsoring us. But like things like Wise and Revolut, they do those kind of cards that you can get, which is like kind of travel cards, and therefore you'll be able to pay in the currency of the nation in which you're traveling to, and that can be very handy and often a much better way than using a simple debit card when traveling around.
Those travel money cards, they will only work in New Zealand or
Yeah.
like out the regions that we're covering, only New Zealand. They will not do obscure currencies like Tongan Pahanga or anything like that. So
Indeed.
just bear that in mind. Main currencies only.
Yeah, and we do have actually a full rundown on NZ Pocket Guide for your specific question, Jared. So if you head to NZ Pocket Guide and then you just type like card just in a search box or bank card, for example, you should have like full article that would go in depth into your question.